Hello, I'm James Kearney, former alcoholic. Haven't drunk in over 3 years. 2011, September the 18th is the last time I drunk. I've done previous videos, but I've never really went on about alcohol and how you could actually slow down or even stop drinking. But it's kind of easy if you put your head to it. A lot of people think that they should feel sorry for themselves and get sympathy off others. Well, that's the wrong way to go about it. You're going to relapse. You're going to relapse because at the end of the day, people are just going to get bored of all your whining and moaning about, oh, yeah, I find it really hard. So it's not hard. Well, it weren't hard for me anyway, because I had family around me. Yeah, but I don't mean it in a funny way like that. That's the only reason I found it easy. I never did it all by myself. But half of it was me. I did try. The counsellors, the doctors, everyone who I really know just say keep your mind occupied, which I did. I've done a lot of theatre, script writing. I've had a job for the last. Well, I've had about 4 different jobs in the last 3 years, whether it be factory or warehouse. They're not the same, by the way. Kind of different. I did a cleaning job. I've only had one missus though, which is kind of good. Yeah, she's been a great inspiration to me, and even though she don't really listen. It's good, yeah. But it's not hard. If the symptoms of an alcoholic are the obvious ones, well, shaking when you haven't had a drink. That's kind of one. That's an easy one. But it's the depressive. You will know that you're an alcoholic when you feel you need to drink early on in the day, or you can't wait until the afternoon, till the evening, until you start drinking. Anything could trigger you to have a pint. That's when you start to know there's a bit of a problem. I started, people, it weren't me what started to know, but people started to notice I had a problem when I was about 15 or 16, drink problem anyway, because they could go, you know, I just wanted to keep drinking. Always the lights getting pissed. Not every day though, not at this stage. When I was 15, 16 I was at school, but I started to drink in assemblies. I used to rob my mum's vodka and that, just, you know, a couple of shots, really steady the ship a bit. You know, before I go into assembly, there's a lot of people, so you get a bit nervous. I've always been, well I was always a nervous person. I always used to love getting high when I was that age as well. Not off illegal drugs or anything, but off Tipex. Even though you can't really get high off Tipex, but I just used to shove it in the bag with one of my mates. I can't mention his name. At that age, it was good, though, because I could. I never heard of the hair of the dog. I just thought, oh shit, there's no cure to a hangover. I just thought you had to just go through it. I thought a lot of people at that age think that another drink will make you feel worse, but it don't. It actually makes you feel better. That's what they call it a hair of a dog. That's a general term for just getting rid of your hangover with more alcohol. Yeah, that's how most alcoholics become alcoholics. You know, if they get this, they can't handle a hangover very easy, so they just pour more alcohol down the throat, and then it's a vicious circle. You get then you start, your hangovers start getting worse, so you have to keep. When your hangovers start getting worse, i.e. you start shaking even worse, that's when the alcohol is getting to you. That's when you just need a few days off the alcohol at a young age. Stay in, watch a film, The worst thing you could do at that age is get a girlfriend. The reason being is depression can be caused by rejection. And often when it's alcohol that causes friction and problems in relationships. I'm not saying stay single, just don't go out with a complete nut job. You know, I've been through that and it's horrible. As if people who actually know me from Candy and other places will know, if there was in particular one complete nut job who I went out with. I ain't going to mention her name in case I become a huge famous person, and she excuse me, she won't have the brains to do it anyway, so I'm just saying just in case. I've been through, my drinking's got me into a whole load of shit. For example, getting arrested. A lot of the times I've never been a violent person, but when I've had a drink in my mum and dad's house, I've done stupid things where I've acted quite angrily and violent, which I do regret now. But anyway, on the drink I also had some good times in Canley. For some reason, weird reason, I loved sleeping in the woods. It was weird. Like, I must have slept in that woods, say between the age of 26 and 28. I think half of that time, well, maybe a bit less than half of the time, about 9 months of it was sleeping rough in the woods. It wasn't rough because I had a tent over me. And the tent was drenched inside, but I was comfortable. I was pissed out of my mind, sometimes high as a kite, and various substances. Substances I never ever managed to get addicted to. They were Class A drugs anyway. A lot of people, I don't know why I never, but I think it was more the alcohol which took over. It was the alcohol that took over me, but the drugs never actually took effect, actually got into my nervous system or into my head that much to actually get addicted to it. There was one point, I can't mention his name either, but I used to live up the flat, and I was at mum and dad's house, and the Class A drug we used to smoke. Well, it's kind of obvious, it was heroin, but I was sitting in my mum, I thought, oh fuck man, I could do with a couple of lines, you know, and that's when I thought, no way, that's the only time I thought I was getting addicted. But that's when I refrained from actually going up there. I thought, oh, I'll just get pissed down here, and you know, I forgot where I stayed that night, but I was at mum's at the time. I may well have stayed there, I don't know. But hiding drink can also be. Hiding drink is one of the actual, in the top 3 of signs of alcoholism. Hiding your drink. I constantly hid my drink, whether it be cider. Actually, that's the only thing I did. No, I didn't. I hid lager and a little tip. Shouldn't be doing this, but if you did want to, if they say you got to hit bottom before you get better, if you want to hit rock bottom really quickly, drink cider. It's cheaper and stronger. But it may help you in the end of the day. It may not, it might kill you. It nearly killed me. Oh, but where I started, the person who I was on about, sorry, got itchy nuts. Sorry. Anyway, the person who I was on about is a complete psycho. We were living in a Formula 1 hotel, me, her and some other guy. I found out she was actually into prostitution. So, one night, this lad was too ill. He got done over in a subway and his back was painful. So I had to go with this girl, my ex at the time. I don't know why I was still living with her, but to Hillfields so she could get a couple of quid, so she could buy whatever. I think, you know, I don't know what she was hungry, I think. But I do know she was smoking crack with this lad as well. I never at the time touched crack or any other drugs. Anyway, we walked where the council house is. Across from the council house there's a little paper shop. And I saw, I ain't got enough money for 2 cans of Carlin. And I saw 2 cans of the black cider. Might have been White Ace. 2 cans of that. 7.5, 16. Frost, yeah, it was Black Ace, White Ace, whatever it is. But anyway, it was 69p a can. 7.5% alcohol. So I brought 2 cans. I think I like this. But a freezing cold can of any drink is nice. So when I got down to Hillfields, steady the ship because I was shaking like a leaf. Sun dark, I had to wait about 100 yards away from her while she went inside her fucking dirty little body. Started swigging this can. This ain't bad actually. And that is what got me addicted, and it was an addiction, to cider. It's different. It's like lagers, say an average of 4.2. English lager anyway. So 7.5 compared to, it's quite a big difference. And straight away I thought, this is pretty good, man. And it don't taste too bad. It tastes of like really cold apple juice, but with alcohol in it. It ain't as bad as people think. Everyone sees it and thinks, oh, I've been drinking that shit. Yeah, it's quite nice. I'm not encouraging anyone or anything, but so I drank 2 of them, and then from then on I thought, I ain't buying lager again, it's shit. May as well just get, you know. And that's when I thought, oh, I could start living at my mum's house again, you know, move in there, because it's going to be easy, because they sold bottles for £1.20 of Frosty Jacks, a litre bottle, and one of them used to last me a few hours at the time. I thought, well, so I used to be that skinny, you could see my ribs, I used to be able to put 2 bottles down. I thought, this is great, man, I could sleep the night without having to sneak out each time I need a swig. I think I have to go now because my miss. I will post another video. So, yeah, okay. I'll post another video after. Cheers for listening. Bye bye.